All right, let's do it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna role play objection handling. We're gonna start with the closers, and then if any other team member wants to give it a shot, you guys are more than welcome. So I need a fearful prospect. I need a prospect that is fear as freaking fuck. The guy doesn't even have the funds. Let's say all the guy has is 2,500. That's all he has. Who can be that person?
I'll do it.
Okay, awesome. So we're gonna go from the price drop, okay? So we're gonna assume the temp check was good. You draw the price, Cameron, and we go from there. What I want you to do is just do whatever you want, just give whatever you want to give, but the main thing needs to be fear. So you can give money, logistics, and then money, fear. You can just give fear directly. You can just give a think about it. You can just give only money, logistics. So it seems like it's just the logistics and then fear kicks in later, but it has to be around fear, and you only have 2K. So the closer is going to have to find a way around it, either down payment right now, not mine, or I don't know. Like he needs to close you. That's pretty much in one way or another. Okay, you guys are ready?
Yep.
Take it away.
All right, so with everything that I mentioned, getting you from phase 1 to phase 3 to becoming this highly skilled appointment setter, the investment today would be 5,800. How does that land with you?
Okay, so 5,800. That covers everything?
Yep, phase 1 through phase 3.
Okay, it's a little bit more than I was expecting.
What were you expecting, if I may ask?
Not sure. There's a lot, right?
Yeah, get it. But with everything that you receive, everything that we laid out to you, what this important thing is, do you feel like that the overall investment aligns with the value of everything you're getting?
I mean, it makes sense. If I can make like 5K a month from this or more, then it will make sense in that sense.
So you do see where the prices come from.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Got it. So is it just a situation of the logistics? You feel like you can't overall, you don't have the 5,800 to be able to invest in that, or what does that look like?
Not right now, no. I wouldn't be able to put that all down up front. That was actually my question as well. Is it usually just paid all at once, or?
Well, usually our students who come into here, they usually pay it all at once, but what's really coming up to make you wanna ask that?
Yeah, I don't really have the funds right now in that sense, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to pay it all at once. That wouldn't be
Yeah.
possible.
Just to get your commitment towards this, I just really want to ask just to really understand, do you feel like that this is the vehicle that can get you from where you are now to becoming this highly skilled appointment setter so that you can have that time freedom for yourself?
I mean, yeah, it could be for sure.
You mean? I mean, I kind of sense a little hesitancy when you said it there. So I just wanted to make sure you're 100%
No,
confident.
yeah,
Because,
I mean, it could be.
and do you feel like you are willing to put in the commitment it takes to use this vehicle to your advantage to get you there? Because that's the most important thing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if I go for something, I go 100%, so that wouldn't be the issue. No.
Right. So the only thing stopping you from going forward today would be just the 5,800 investment.
Yeah.
So, let's say there's a way. Let's say there's a way we could break this down for you just to potentially make it easier for you to get started so you can take the first steps today to becoming this highly skilled appointment setter and using the tools that we give you. Would you be open to that?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, if there would be a way that would be helpful.
Right. So if we got started and just broke down this investment, right? So you can get started with a small portion of it, something I could customize for you, and then you pay the rest while you're already in the program making money, just to really make sure. Would that be something you're willing to do, or
Yeah, I think so.
you think so? Or is this something, because I don't want you to do anything that you don't want to do, right? And this is not something I usually do for everybody, but people who are actually willing to commit themselves and feel like they can actually use this to get to this point to be successful is who I want to do it for. So if you're not, 100% confident, then we don't have to do it, man.
And the thing is, I mean, I know I'm gonna put the work in, but it's just, is it gonna work out for me, right? I haven't really done anything like this before.
Right. So out of that, what makes you feel like what's coming up to make you feel like it wouldn't work for you?
I'm not sure. It's just that I haven't really invested that amount of money into
So
playing.
so is this a question of can I do this, or is this a question of should I do this?
That's a good question. Maybe a little bit of both. I know I'm capable of doing things. I know I'm not stupid and I can learn things, but the thing is, will it work out for me? The thing is, I just never did something like this before. It's kind of a big leap.
Right. So what you say you're really looking for here is certainty, right? Certainty that you can actually be successful with this.
Yeah, you could say that.
So unfortunately, something certainty isn't something I could give you. Certainty is something that you can only give yourself going forward with this. So what would you do if you felt like there was no chance you can fail? What would you do then?
I mean, if that would be the case, then I would move forward. Yeah.
You would move forward if you were 100% certain that you wouldn't fail.
Yeah, correct.
Right. So what you're looking for here is certainty, right? And going forward with that, I'll be honest, Paulo, I try to use what you
Yeah.
said, but I
All
don't
right.
remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember
So
that layout.
good job for just putting yourself in the spotlight, because that's what you need to do on your calls, and that's the only way you're gonna learn. Okay. The majority of people, they just say, okay, let's book a follow-up call. All right. What I'm seeing is a lack of preparation. There's no such a thing as a bad closer, only an unprepared closer. It's just lack of preparation. Basically, if you are seeing Cameron right now and you can see yourself in Cameron, dude, I would just end up the same way. You are not prepared, and you are not putting the works to be prepared, because it's not that you are in a program to become a closer. You are already getting calls. So the time is against you. I don't know what you're doing, but if I were you, I will be doing everything in my power to just train as much as I can, as I possibly can, to just dial this in, not to the point where I get it right, but to a point where I cannot get it wrong. Because every single call that they give you uncertainty and you are not 3,000% ready, is a chance that you're not going to be able to perform at your best, especially if you're on trial. So there needs to be a sense of urgency there. I'm not saying you guys don't have it. It's just something that I'm just reminding you of, because again, it's just not that you cannot do it. It's just that you haven't put in the work to have this dialed in. Does that make sense? So that's something that needs to happen in private, where no one is watching you practicing all of these things, not only in the sales team meetings. Because if you're expecting to learn 1 hour a day in the sales team meeting, it's just not going to happen. Okay, so you just need to put the work out there. Right now, let's just learn all together based on what Cameron did. Again, the good thing is that, Cameron, you're still putting yourself out there, but again, it's very important that you and everybody that feels that is in the exact same situation as Cameron, that you guys do the work outside, role play between each other, ask Andy for help, role play between each other, between the closing team, or ask the triagers for role plays, and then just get this solved. Basically, get this fixed, figure it out, memorize it, do whatever you need to do, but get it done. Otherwise, every single call is an opportunity that you're losing. So what kind of piece of feedback can I give you, Cameron? Lack of concepts. It is not an issue on the execution and the concepts are clear. No, the concepts are not clear. Like, you don't have a clear roadmap of what you're doing, and that's creating a lot of confusion, because you're sort of like going into tangents. Okay, so you gotta watch the recording from yesterday, and you gotta watch the recordings from the closers training. If you don't know, if you have questions, let us know, Andy or myself, because the most important thing we need to do once we get an objection is what? Who can tell me what is the first thing we do once we get an objection? Put it in the chat or share. There you go. IDIC. Nothing else matters. IDIC. Identify, diffuse, isolate, and confirm. That's the only thing. Yeah, you know, I don't have that money. Identify money logistics. Okay, if you did, no worries, that's fine. No worries, that's fine. It's diffusing. Okay, no worries, it's fine. A lot of people don't have the money. That's diffusing, releasing the tension. If you did have the money, though, what would you do? Isolating. Well, if I have the money, I think I would do it. You think you would do it if you had the money? You see, so I'm isolating, and there is more uncertainty. Oh, you know, it has to work for me. You know, I don't know. Okay. Oh, so it's money logistics, and there's a little bit of fear. Okay, so what would you do if you had the money? Now I'm re-isolating. What would you do if you had the money? And on top of that, you knew you couldn't fail. Oh, then I would do it. Why would you do that though? Oh, because blah, 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 blah. Okay, so then what I'm hearing is that you're 100% in. It's just making sure that you can make this work financially, and there's no way you're going to fail with this. Yes, that's the first thing you got to do. Before solving anything, before overcoming everything, we do IDIC. We get into the objection handling phase. Whatever you get, I don't fucking care. You don't solve anything. You don't overcome anything. You first identify, diffuse, isolate, and confirm. You don't overcome anything. It doesn't matter what they say. If they say, I'm 100% in, I just need a payment plan. Do you have a payment plan? You don't go, oh yeah, what will work for you? You don't overcome anything. You do IDIC. Hold on. When you say I'm 100% in, do you have a payment plan? How do you mean by that? Yeah, I just don't have 1,500, but if we can split it into two, I'm 100% in. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that, okay, so I have already identified what it is, money logistics, right? And I don't even need to diffuse, okay, because the guy is 100% in. So I don't need to diffuse any tension. There's no tension. So I'm going to skip it. I'm going to go directly into isolated. Okay, so if there was a way in which we could break it down and making it work financially, what would you do? Oh, then I'm just in. I'm signing out right now. Got it. So then what I'm hearing is that you're 100% in. The only thing is making it work financially? Yes. IDIC, always first, forever, period. Very important. It's very important. You have no idea how much this is going to benefit you. So that's what you have to do. And then after IDIC, then we lead and overcome whatever we've isolated. Yeah? Okay, let's do another role play. Who wants to try? Great job, Cameron, for showing up and putting yourself there. That's how you grow, brother. Okay, Brian, let's just do Nick. Can you play Nick? Can you be this guy who's gonna give objections?
Yeah, like
Mainly
really
uncer-
scared? Like scared again?
Yeah,
stuff like
scared, uncertainty based. Think about it. Whatever you want.
that? Okay. I'm gonna do that.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so Nick, covering the investment, it's 5,800 USD. So that covers the entire process of phase 1 to phase 3.
5,800 you said?
Yep.
Okay, I gotta think about it. Thank you though.
Sure, no worries. I mean, I do need to hop onto another call as well very shortly, Nick. Just before we do that, when you say that you want to think about it, just so I can understand what comes up to mind when you say that, just see if I can help.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I wasn't really expecting 5,800. I had a ballpark in mind, but 5,800 is just a little out of what I was thinking of right now.
No, I can totally understand that, and of course, it is quite a substantial investment at the end of the day. When you say that, is it more of a big decision, or you just don't have the amount right now, like you couldn't afford it right now?
I would say both. Like, one, I wasn't expecting 5,800, and it is a big decision for me, especially with that price point on it. I just wasn't expecting it. But I really appreciate your time, Brian. I think this call helped me a lot. Got me a little momentum.
I mean, obviously,
really
this is why we're on the call there, Nick, to obviously, get through this stage. But I guess, like, when let's say that if you had the amount, you had 5,800 wired to your bank account, right? I mean, obviously, let's just play that scenario. If you had 5,800 in your bank account, as well as if you knew that you couldn't fail with the process, what would your next steps be? If you had the amount and if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do?
Yeah, if I had the amount and I knew this was perfect for me, and if I couldn't fail, I would probably do it. Yeah.
But why would you do it though? Just out of curiosity.
Because if I couldn't fail, then who wouldn't do it, right? To hit my goals of what we talked about.
Yeah, I mean, it's your
8K
goal.
month.
I mean, obviously, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Would you do it or?
Yeah, but I want to talk about kind of reality here, I don't know if it's a reality that everyone it's not going to fail, but I appreciate the question. Yeah, I would probably look to, I would do it.
But, so you would do it if you knew you couldn't fail?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. So I guess what I'm hearing then, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you are 100% in with the process and everything, and the only thing that's keeping us bag at the moment is making sure that it works financially for you and it's making sure that it works as well.
Yeah, 100%. And definitely financially. I got to tell you, man, like just straight up, that's way out of what I was thinking.
Yeah, sure. No worries. So I guess if there was a way that we could break the installments, the investment down into small installments, would that be helpful?
I think it's worth a conversation. Yeah.
Are you sure? I mean, you don't have to. I mean, I'm just pointing out there. If there was a way that we can break the investment down into small installments, would that help you?
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Yeah, it would help.
Sure. Okay. Because the thing is, Nick, is that we don't have predefined, payment plans. What we do is a little bit more customized to the individual. So what we do is we look at where you are currently, where you are financially, and in the next 30 days or so. And again, not to promise anything here, Nick, but if there was a way that we can obviously go through, go through payment plans, then we can walk through the options. If not, no issues at all. I mean, we can always create a game plan for us to come back to this in the future. If we could do that, would that be useful?
Yeah, it would be useful. And even regardless, I still might want to come back to this in the future, but I would like to have a conversation about it if you'd like.
How do you mean by that exactly?
Just about payment plans. I think it's worth exploring because as you know, like I do really want to do this, but that price point right now just doesn't work for me at all. But what did you have in mind when do you guys do it like possibly splitting up in 6 payments or something? Like
Yeah, I
just
mean,
for the
no, I
max,
can't promise anything, Nick, obviously, because it is quite an investment. And so if we look at where you are currently with where you are financially, and if there was a way that we can work it out, would you be open to that to see if we can obviously
Yeah. You know what? I would. Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, so just looking at where you are currently financially right now, and in the next 30 days or so, as of today, what do you have that is cash available, cash in hand that you know you can invest in as of today?
Yeah, I don't know if this would be worth it to you guys, right? I don't want to waste your time, but probably I would have to check my bank and stuff like that. But I
Yeah,
can
you can do
say,
that right now. Do you have your account?
yeah, yeah, you would have to give me one sec, but I off the
Sure.
top of my head, probably just a few hundred, honestly.
I mean, a few hundred can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. I mean, when you say a couple of hundred, is how do you mean by that? How much is that?
Probably let's say 500, I would feel. Yeah, I got 500.
Okay, so that's 500 that you have
Yeah,
today that you know you can invest today.
yes, yes.
Okay, what about 30 days from now?
30 days, little saving up. I mean, it is the holidays, right? I had plans for that. But I would say max, I could probably get to 1,000. Yeah,
Okay, so that's an extra 1,030 days from now. Okay,
probably around 1,000, right? I have some plans, coming up, but I could get to 1,000 in 30 days if that's something would work better for you guys, next month.
I see. Okay, what about 60 days from now? So obviously 30 days after that. Is that quite
Yeah,
similar, or is your situation going to be a little bit better? What does that look like?
probably similar, right? We're looking at, let me ask you this too. If I could promise you I would have 2,000 in 60 days, what would be the next steps, right? Because I do want to do this, Brian. You know I do. However, it's just a lot of money for me right now, and I wasn't expecting 5,800. That's pretty crazy for me. But obviously, if it would work out, I would want to do something like this. So talk
Sure.
me through what that would look like if I had 2 grand in 60 days.
Are you talking about, because you said that you'll have 1K 30 days and then another 1K after 30 days from now. So is that what you meant by?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah.
Right, okay. Well, here's the thing, is that based on my sort of current assessment with where you are currently financially, Nick, I don't think that the best thing to do is to jump full in with the program with just where you are currently financially right now. But at the same time, I don't also think that the right thing to do is to do nothing, because then that just means that we're feeding into a sort of pattern of inaction and taking no action at all whatsoever. And obviously that doesn't, it's not going to get you closer to your goal for you to obviously get out of your 9 to 5, right? So I guess if there was a way that we can focus on progress where we can essentially start giving you access to, the process, the program that we've got right now, not going full enrollment in terms of the core program, but there was a way that we can start the process where you are already training and building momentum. So, and I'm going to be your coach personally as well, Nick, so that I can keep you accountable until we get to a point where,
I like that, Brian. I like that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So if there was a way that we can focus on progress for the meantime, would that be useful?
It would. It would. What would that kind of look like, right? Like what training am I getting for that? let's say 500, like what would that really look like, you know?
Yeah, so essentially in regards to that, I can give you access to NAS kickoff training modules, which is pretty much what similar to phase one of what we have in the program. Of course, I will also be holding you accountable to make sure that you're doing all the work.
Okay, let me just stop here. Let me just stop here because from the beginning up until here, all good. In general, good. But here, when they ask you questions, make sure they are not taking out of you off track. Okay, you're now going. You're now going to the weeds. You're sort of like falling under his trap. So what you need to do is you have to diffuse. You have to say, yeah, we can definitely go into that in a second. But the most important thing is, what do you want to do when circumstances hits you, right? And you have two options: doing nothing or focusing on progress. Because one, yes, I'm not going to believe you, right? If there was a way in which we could focus on progress, would that be useful? Yes. It's not super, yeah, even if they say yes. But obviously, if they say, yeah, possibly, then it's like, obviously, it's not sold on progress. But even if they say yes, I'm going to go for another double tie down. Okay. Okay, cool. Because we do have a process for that, and I can walk you through so that we can keep building momentum. So when the time comes and you have enough funds, we can put you into the full-blown program. But the most important thing is you need to determine what are you going to do when in times of uncertainty, when turbulent seasons like this, when there's circumstances like money coming in the way. Are you going to focus on allowing those circumstances to getting in the way, therefore doing nothing, or do you truly want to focus on progress and start building momentum? Yeah, I want to focus on progress. And I might even add, but why though? Like, why not being like the 99% of people that allow circumstances to get in the way? That's a triple titan. Oh, because blah, 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 blah. Got you. Well, if that helps you and if that puts you in a better place, I'm willing to do that for you. Do you want me to walk you how that would look like? You see, I'm not answering the question of what kind of content they're gonna getting access, because I'm taking control. Yeah, cool. But what kind of content are you giving me? Well, we can definitely go into that in a second. But first, more importantly, is for you to understand what will the process look like. Do you want to understand what that process look like? Yeah. Okay, it's pretty simple. You put something down today. You say you have 500. You put 500 down. I give you access to some of the training that is gonna to some of the training. In that training, we're gonna start working on the fundamentals of becoming an appointment setting, mindset, and main frameworks so that you can start building momentum. I will be your coach. I will walk you through. We'll stay in touch, and we'll have another meeting in 2 weeks from now, see where you're at, and we'll just keep leveraging that wave of momentum and progress. Would that help you? Right now, you're about to close them on a down payment without saying, well, you've said how much it was. But normally, I like to say you put something down and let up, because I'm saving that card if they backtrack. You guys follow me so far? And then they say, yeah, I like the idea. Let's do it. And, okay, cool. And then boom, you say, okay, it will be 500. I'm going to send you an invoice, give you the training, and then give you some homework. We will see each other again in 1 week. Okay, let's do it. What's your billing address? And you close it on progress. Okay, so great job, Brian, overall. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick analysis of what Brian just did. So Brian saw that it was financial, money logistics, and money fear. He isolated both. Okay, if you had the funds and you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? Yeah, I would do it. Well, why would you do it though? Blah, 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 blah. And then he confirmed. Perfect IDIC. That's how you want to do it every single time, forever. Okay. So IDIC executed. Now we know what it is. It's money logistics and a little bit of fear. We always focus first on solving logistics. That's what Brian did. Okay, open wallet. Okay, so if there was a way in which we can make it work financially, would that help you? Yeah, it would. If you see them going backpedaling, you backpedal as well. It's like, well, I mean, I don't have to make this work. You know what I mean? You can just wait until you have the funds. You know what I mean? Totally up to you. And if they just keep backpedaling, yeah, I think it's going to be better to wait until I have the funds. Maybe you're right. But I guess if there was a window or a chance that you could make it work sooner rather than later, so tomorrow you can be one step closer to becoming the father you want for your kid, would you say no to that? To that? Would you say no to opening or exploring that door? I mean, it's your vision. You see what I'm doing? Do you see? I'm not pushing you. I'm not being a sneaky salesman. Yeah, maybe you're right. I'm saying maybe you're right. Maybe delaying is the best thing for you. Now, if there was a chance in which you could make it work based on your current circumstances right now, is that something you want to explore? I mean, you don't have to. You can continue to go down the path of the 9 to 5, the commute. You can say no to that to that possibility. So what is it going to be? Well, obviously, I'm not going to say no to that. Well, why not? You see what I'm doing? That's the dance you need to have, because the moment you go, hey, yeah, let's explore it. Would you be open to explore it? Let's explore. Maybe I can help you. That's you pushing. That's you convincing. That's another freaking sales guy trying to make a sale. Make sense? You guys with me? Go ahead, Cameron.
I was wondering if I could do it again.
Yeah, no worries, no
We had
worries.
to sing.
100%. But I just want to finish the analysis. So Brian did IDSC perfectly. Then he went into the open wallet perfectly, not imposing the open wallet, not forcing a payment plan, just asking for permission to explore the finances. So first of all, if there was a way in which we could make it work financially, would that help you? Yes. Okay. I cannot promise you anything. Okay. Because the majority of our clients pay up front, but when we do see potential, I might have some leeway. But again, I'm not sure. I will need to understand your financial situation first. Dive into what's your current situation. If there are some options, I walk you through it. If not, no worries. I'm not going to leave you on the gold. At least we can create a plan for 6 months down the road. Do you want to have that conversation? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But Nick did something really well as a prospect, a very skeptical prospect. Yeah, I'm open to that. I still wanna come back to you guys in the future, because I definitely don't have the money. But yeah, that would be great, right? So sort of like leaning out. You say, yeah, I mean, we don't have to have that conversation. Even if there's a possibility for you to start becoming the father you want tomorrow, like you can just say no to that. It depends on what you prioritize, what's more important to you. He started throwing, yeah, because I am on Christmas and maybe it's better. I want to hear what you have in terms of option, but maybe it's better to reconnect in the future. Maybe it's better. I guess what is more important for you to prioritize? Your Christmas or next year making sure your kids go to private school? Like, it's all a game of priorities. We don't have to have this conversation. I don't even have to help you. You know what I mean? Like, why would I'm not gonna say that, but you see the energy, right? And I need him to ask me for the help. I need him to want the help. And I'm doing you a freaking favor. I'm doing you a favor. Make sense? And then he says, well, yeah, I want to hear it. Even if someone is like that, hey, we don't have to have that conversation. It's not about you hearing it. And I might just do a full stop there. I will say, can I ask you something personal? It's not going to be super comfortable, but that's really what it takes if you want to achieve your goals. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Do you want to do this? That's it. Do you want to do this? Yes or no? Well, obviously I want to do it. Who do you want to? You will be surprised, Nick. Like, the most important thing is when challenges and circumstances hits you in the face, the question is, based on where you're at right now and where do you want to be, do you want to find a way to make it to your vision or no? Because I don't have to help you here. You see what I'm doing? I am taking 3 steps back and you come closer to me, or I'm not going to move a single finger here. You see what I'm doing? Or this is too deep and too abstract. Okay. So I'm getting him plugged in again, right? If you do 3 steps back, I do 5 steps back. I don't care. Like, I have the solutions, you have the problems. And then Nick comes and said, no, I want to make it work. You sure? I mean, you don't have to. Because if you don't sacrifice for what you want, becomes what? Becomes the sacrifice. So do you want to sacrifice? What are we sacrificing today? No, yeah, I want to sacrifice. I really want to make this work. Okay, so do you want to have this conversation to see if there's a possibility in which you can make this work, walk away from this conversation being the new Nick you and your family deserve? Or are we going to sign up for continue to be the Nick that has led you to where you are today for the last 12 months? What is it going to happen? You tell me. Yes, I want to make it work. Okay, so in order for me to be able to even see if I can help you, I need to understand truly your financial situation, see if there's anything that we can do. Because if I don't feel that based on your financial situation, there's nothing that we can do, I'm going to tell you. Because if I allow people to come in, I want to allow them to come in a state where they're going to fucking crush it. If I don't believe that's possible for you, we will be like game plan 6 months from now. I'm not going to give up on you. No worries. You willing to have that conversation? Yes. Okay. What do you have right now available? Cash in hand. What are we working with? How about 30 days? How about 30 days later? Besides that, what other avenues could you get into to come up with the funds? Leveraging credit, co-signers, what do you have? Nothing. Okay, it's just the cash in hand that you'll be able to save. Okay, now, based on this situation, I don't believe the best thing we can do based on your budget is to aim for an A score because it's out of your budget. Okay, now, are we going to allow that to be the main thing to keep us from moving forward? No. Right? Or do you want to allow that to be the thing that keeps you from being the father you want for your family? No. Okay, so if there was a way in which we could focus, instead of making a big jump, we focus on making steps towards an A score. If there was a way in which you can wake up tomorrow knowing that you're one step closer to being that father that your kids are going to be proud of, would that put you in a better place? Yes, because honestly, I don't believe that the best thing you can do now is to do nothing. Would you agree? Yes. Okay, so in these circumstances, you have to decide. I'm going to allow circumstances to get in the way. I'm going to focus on progress. What is it going to be? Progress. Okay, so we do have a process for that. If you want to focus on progress and you want to make this work, do you want me to walk you through it, or what? How do you feel? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, you put something down, give you access. Would that help you? Yes, it would. Okay, let's do it. It's not going to be like this all the freaking time because they're going to be, well, I don't know. Well, you don't have to focus on progress. We can just keep delaying. But if you keep delaying today, you don't change and break those patterns. Do you feel those patterns are going to be easier or harder to break in the future? Harder, right? And are you willing to allow those patterns to keep dictating the way you make decisions and the way you can or cannot achieve? Are you okay for those patterns to keep dictating the life that you've gotten so far? No, I'm not. Why not? Okay, so what do you feel you need to do today to start changing? Do you feel you need to break those patterns or keep feeding those patterns? Break them. Okay, putting one step and starting to change right now would allow you to be in a better place? Yes or no? Yes. Do you want to do that? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. So let's put something down. Let's start walking the walk. Okay, let's do it. All right. How much can you put down? Boom. I don't care. And at the end of the day, I don't care how much you put down. This is not for me. This is for you. This is you changing today. It's you validating that you don't deserve to be where you're at right now, or that you do, based on what you did right now. So are you going to validate that you deserve to be in a life of mediocrity, or are you going to demonstrate to yourself that you are made for greatness? No, I don't know. It's a big decision. I'm not asking you to make a big decision. I'm asking you to make one step. Because if you're not able to make one step, do you believe you can make a big decision? No, everything starts with one step. I'm asking you to do one step for your future and to bet on yourself with one step. If you cannot even do that, how are your kids going to be proud of you? What is it going to be? You see, that's the kind of conversation you need to have. I am focusing on the pattern, focusing on the way of thinking, focusing on the state of the individual. If we put them in the right state, then it clicks. Like the natural thing is, okay, yeah, what can we do? How can I change? How can I demonstrate to myself? How can we start the process of moving forward? And then they will just give you money. They will just put something down. Okay, Cameron, try it again. Nick, can you play the exact same prospect?
Yeah, sure. Was that good? Was that a good prospect?
That was perfect. Yeah, that was great. Okay. A ton of uncertainty and a lot of backpedaling. That's what we need. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
All right, so we'll get started. All right, so Nick, so with everything that we mentioned, phase 1 through 3, getting you from where you are now to being this highly skilled appointment setter, the overall investment will be $5,800. How does that land with you?
Yeah, 5,800. Yeah, I would have to think about it, but I definitely appreciate. Yeah, I have to think about it for sure.
Yes, of course. So I actually have a meeting coming up, so I have to go away. I can't stay here for too long, but just so I can have context for our next meeting, if we do decide to come back to this, what exactly would you be going to think about?
Definitely the price. Definitely 5,800, man. I was not expecting that. I gotta be fully frank with you.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's just a lot for me right now. I don't know.
Well,
about
yeah,
that.
you said you were expecting it, but the important thing is, do you feel like that the overall price aligns with the value that you're getting from this?
Tangent. You're going on a tangent. Doesn't matter. That is irrelevant. Is irrelevant, that question. You have identified is money. Isolated. Diffuse and isolated. You're going on a tangent. So, okay, it's money. You are identified. It's money. Money is the issue. cool. I understand. You know, I'm not gonna lie here. I'm gonna say, yeah, it's just pocket change or whatever. So yeah, I understand. It's an amount of money that is worth the thought. I don't know, whatever you say. Don't go overkill. Oh yeah, I understand. This is like a lot of money. Don't validate the limiting belief, but just tell them that, yeah, I'm with you. It's fine. Yeah, I can understand that. I can see that. That's more than enough to release and allowing them to feel that it's okay to have that concern. Yeah, I can see that. This is not unusual. This is not the first time that someone has a conversation with me and, you know, money is sort of like a challenge. That's fine. And then you isolate. If you have the money, though, what would you do? If money wasn't an issue, what would you do? If someone just puts right now $7,000 in your bank account or are sitting there, what would your next steps be? IDIC, nothing else.
All right,
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, let's go.
because you just go on a tangent. It's just like and every time you go on a tangent, you create more uncertainty. Like the conversation just gets clouded with more uncertainty. Right? Let me do it so you can see. Nick, let's do it.
Sure.
Let's do it. It's 6K.
6K, Paulo? That's a
Yeah,
lot.
just
I
give
gotta,
me give me the
Oh,
same thing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's no, I appreciate it. Yeah, 6K. Yeah, I definitely have to think about it. But I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, sure. No worries, no worries. I have another meeting I have to go as well. I guess if we do have another conversation later on, just so I can have full clarity the next time, what are some of the things you want to go over, just for context?
Yeah, I think if we were to meet another time, I obviously I don't want to waste your time as well, but 6K is just way out of what I was thinking coming into this, you know?
Oh, got you. So it's sort of like the amount of the investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is this
it's
more coming
different.
from a place that I'm not sure if I can afford it, or more is a big decision, or maybe both?
Definitely both. Yeah, well said.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine, man. This is not the first time someone comes and, they're committed to their goals like you are. They're courageous and they're 100% sure that they want to be that father that they want to be. And, there are some challenges in the way. No worries. That's totally fine. Now, just so I can understand what's important to you, Nick, if you have the funds, let's say someone put $8,000 in your bank account right
Yeah.
now, they're sitting there. And on top of that, you knew you couldn't fail with this process. What would your next steps be? What would you do?
Honestly, I'd probably spend 2 grand on bills, and then I would like to do something like this.
What was that? Sorry,
Yeah.
can you repeat that again? Sorry, didn't get
Yeah.
you.
If a magic 8 grand appeared, yeah, I could see myself doing something like this because I do
But
think
why
it's a
would you
good
do
fit for
that
me.
though? Why is that?
Well,
What would you do it?
yeah, I think it is a good fit for me. It's something I'm looking to transfer my skills
Is it
to.
though?
But
Okay, so
Paul,
then
it's
what
just
I'm
I don't
hearing
have
is,
8 grand. I don't have 8 grand to just kind of put in like that.
yeah, and I get it, and I appreciate that. I actually respect a lot of the fact that you're showing up here at the edge of your comfort zone, knowing that there are challenges in the way. That requires a lot of courage. So kudos to you, man.
Thanks.
So I guess just for me to understand, you're 100% in with the program, the process, and everything. It's just number one, a matter of making it work financially. Number two, is making sure that you're gonna make such an investment is actually gonna play out the way you want.
Yeah, both of those for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Got you. No worries, man. 100%. I guess like for me, just so you have a little bit of clarity, most of our clients do the payment upfront. Now, for some cases where we do see potential, we might be able to sort of like help, but I cannot promise anything. So I guess if there was a way in which we could break it down to more manageable installments, would that be of any help?
That would be helpful. It would depend
Yeah.
on what, but yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
worth
I don't know. I
it.
don't even sure. I don't want you to think that there's a solution. Can't promise anything. What we do normally do is we sort of like dive into your financial situation because I really need to understand what's your current financial situation. And then based on that, I will be able to assess and tell you whether we can do something or not. And if we cannot do if we can't do anything, no worries. I'm not going to leave you on the call. We'll just build a game plan so that you can make this happen 6 months from now. Do you want to have that kind of conversation?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think that's worth it. I mean, just straight up though, I really don't want to waste your time. Like, I don't have that much right now where I could invest anything.
And straight up though, like I'm not even sure that I'm gonna be able to help you. I don't want you to feel that there's gonna be a solution. Maybe there's nothing I can do. Just so you know. But we'll have to explore that first. Do you want to have that conversation?
Yeah, let's have it. Yeah.
Okay, so help me understand. What are you working with right now, as of now? Cash in hand, funds available to be able to put in an investment like this. What are you working with?
Yeah. Cash on hand. Like last time I checked, I would have to check again, right? But
Roughly.
probably just
What would you say? Like I can put down this.
I mean, is this even worth it to you guys? Probably just a few hundred, you know?
But it doesn't matter. Like, is worth it for you finding a solution to achieve your goals, or no?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely four to 500. I could
4 to
spend.
500. How about 30 days from now? Let's just stop here. Let's say because I want to get to the fear. Let's say we find a way,
Sure.
and then you go, yeah, that will work for me. And now I'm going to try to close you and you give me fear.
Okay.
So, okay. So basically, let's say you say 2K. Okay. You say 2K and then 2K later and 2K later,
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So now I'm gonna go for the close, and you're gonna have to give me resistance. Okay, so then what I'm hearing, Nick, you just say yes 3 times, okay, and then give me the objection.
Okay.
So then what I'm hearing, Nick, is that 2K right now that is available, 2K 30 days from now, and 30 days later 2K. If there was a way in which we could set up that sort of game plan that would work for you based on your current financial situation, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay, so that based on everything we've covered, that I can do. I can get you inside of the program. We can do 2K right now. You can wake up tomorrow being proud of the decisions you made yesterday, knowing that you're one step closer to being that father that your kids deserve, that you can be that example, and we can start rocking and rolling. Okay, so with that, the next steps from here will be the enrollment process. We do it here on Zoom with me. It's just 5 minutes. I send you an invoice for those 2K. You pay the invoice, I give you the logins, and I send you some homework so that you have the next steps. And the change has already begun. You will wake up tomorrow, one step closer, and I will be here, to hold you accountable through the process. Do you want to go through it, or do you have any other questions?
I feel like I would have to do it a little bit later. Something I would look to do. Just give me a few hours. I think something I would like to do from here is look at some testimonials online and see if this really, is
Okay,
something
yeah,
that
no
could work
problem.
for
Like,
me. Yeah.
you don't have to do anything. But I guess for me to understand what's behind that, what's making you sort of doubt yourself at this moment.
I don't know how much it is about myself, but I mean, Paulo, I know we're talking, yeah, we're working on a plan together and stuff like that, but what if it just doesn't really work, Like what
Yeah. You see the testimonials, right? You see some of the videos of the people that got started in the program and the results they got. Is that correct?
yeah, I
Just
saw
say yes.
some of
Just say
that.
yes.
Yeah.
So the process works, and I know it works, but it doesn't matter what I know, what I believe, right? That's why we have the testimonials there. So if the process works, Nick, the question really is, are you willing to follow the process?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have
Yeah.
to. Or are you gonna come in and just reinvent the wheel? Because then I'm gonna tell you, let's hold off.
Yeah, it's just honestly, man, it's a little nerve-wracking because I came into this call promising I would not make a decision, stuff like that. And I know it can work for other people,
Yeah,
just for
I'm not
me,
asking
like,
you to make a big
yeah.
jump. I'm not even asking you to make a big jump. I'm here to show up as a leader for you to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. And it all starts with one step. Are you willing to do one step for you, and your family?
Yeah, I want to.
But you don't have to. You don't have to. You can continue to go down this route and spend another 3 years in the restaurant.
I don't want that. I do want to move forward. Just like I'm
So
nervous,
what do you
man. Like
feel?
I
What do
don't.
you feel you need to do today? So when you wake up tomorrow, you can look at your kid and knowing that he's gonna be proud of you.
Probably committing to my goals and what we talked about.
Because someone has to take that responsibility. Your vision is not gonna fall under your lap until you take responsibility for it and you start walking and doing the actions required. The question is, do you want to take that responsibility?
I do.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So what do you
However,
feel
like
you need to do today? So what do you
yeah.
feel you need to do today? So when you go to bed tonight, you can look at your wife in the eyes, knowing that change has already begun with that confidence and that certainty. What do you feel needs to happen today?
Yeah, I would have to take a step to commit to my goals. But
So
do you mind if I usually the way I make decisions, just I know I'm just a little amped up right now. I like to kind of calm down and really think about it for a sec. Do you mind if I would do something like that?
Yeah, you can think about it. You can do whatever you want. That has no impact on me. But what kind of leader would I be if I leave you out of this conversation in the exact same situation that you came in? Do you want that type of leader?
No, I don't.
Right. Now you can
Not at
think
all.
about it. Like, all I care is if you're willing to do one step. I'm not making you to put not even 2K if you don't want to, if that's sort of like a traumatic experience for you, But are you willing to change today in front of me and in front of you, most importantly, and demonstrate to yourself that you deserve what you want? And let's just stop here because we're running out of time. Some of you have calls. There you go. Okay, so it's sort of like that process. You see that process, not giving up on them, and really holding the standards with that certainty, with that clarity, with that exact boom. Do you guys see that? I wish we would have more time. But yeah, if I don't like to, just if you have a call, you can bounce. Okay. If you have a call, you can bounce. Just wanted to sort of like, there you go crush it, brother. Cool. I also have another call myself as well at the top of the hour. So guys, any questions, thoughts, insights, takeaways from what we've covered today?
Well, I have a question, not particularly what we did today, but just a question in general. A couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say with the busy holiday season, and I know before we had a process where we did this. Could you take someone's credit card information and charge them after the holidays for invoice, say they're not able to get
US people see,
started?
US people, yes, don't do that to Europe people because they're gonna run away. Okay, the taking credit card information only works for US citizens because they're used to that. But don't do that to a European guy because it's like completely out of culture, and they will go, oh, I'm not giving you my credit card details.
Yeah.
But in the US, you can do that as a form of commitment. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And another question would be, I know I had a call with a prospect yesterday and they were asking me if I could send them the recording for the call. And I told them I was just like, I would ask, just to confirm.
You can.
Okay. All right.
All right. Good questions, bro. Anything else? Takeaways, thoughts based on what we've covered today? Triagers, SDRs, you can chime in because you can apply this in your calls as well. Is challenging people,
Any feedback on playing a prospect? Like, how do you play the best prospect possible? Because I was trying hard, but like,
you did really well.
if
You did really well.
okay.
Use the prospect you have on your calls. That's
Okay.
it. Just think about what was a difficult call that I had that she objected booking a strategy session. I want to play that.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, team. This was really good training. Like, this is really the cadence that you need to do in the conversations to close these people on changing. You have to overcome the person. Just overcome the person, right? Create the change there. Just one step. They don't have to do a big jump. But don't just go, okay, don't do nothing and just book a follow-up call. Even if it's a freaking $100. But that represents drawing a line in the sand, start changing. Make sense? It's not the $100, it's the patterns that we're breaking. You can do it. I know that's why you're here.